Hello and welcome back to another edition of what I've been doing. Um, Now, lately I've been working a lot of stainless steel and I sent a whole batch of that off to heat treat, but today I actually finished a few things and I'm still waiting for those stainless blades, by the way. But quite a while ago I ordered a cheap Chinese knife just to see how it held up. And it was this one, the Ganzo G-717, which is basically a Benchmade shaped blade, a knife, or not a Benchmade, a Sebenza shaped knife with an axis lock. Now, I quite liked it, but I hated the way it cut. So after a while, I worked up the nerve to just mess around and regrind it. The only reason I bought it is because it was cheap and because I wanted to try out the axis lock. So I really like the axis lock, which means I'll possibly buy a nice Benchmade at some point. But like I said, I hated the way that it cut because the blade was so thick and obtuse. Um, to fix this, I decided I would give a regrind a try. I figured, well, if I mess it up, then I'm only gonna mess up a cheap Chinese knife, which is, I think they're new. They're like $20, so they're not that expensive. And if it works out, then I'll have a cheap Chinese knife that actually cuts well. So I gave that a try, and I reground it. And then after that, I decided, well, I just bought a buffer, so I'll try buffing it too. So I did that, and as you can see, it's all nice and shiny now. Also, this is the first knife I put my new blade mark on. You'll see right there. Um, it's an A, a J, and an N in the shape of a note, which is how you pronounce my last name, Note. So that's my new blade mark, which I'll put on my own knives in the future, but not on regrinds. I don't know what I'm going to do with the regrinds yet. But this went so well that I figured, well, everyone should be able to get a knife that's affordable, but that cuts like a custom knife is supposed to. If you look at this knife, you'll see that the actual secondary bevel really thin. That's because the blade has been thinned out so much that it cuts like a custom knife now. Of course, it won't cut as long as a custom knife, or most custom knives anyway, because it's a 440C blade at Rockwell 58, which is not all that hard. But at least it will cut well, and the thinness of the grind will actually make sure that it cuts longer than its not reground brothers. So I gave that a try, and it worked out well. So I figured I'll order a bunch more because I want to practice my regrinds. So I ordered 3 more in black, tan, and orange, and 1 more which I'll get to in a minute. And so, but I didn't want to put in the elbow work for the mirror polish for that, so I gave him a satin finish. Now, like I said, this is now a fairly cheap knife that will cut like an expensive knife. It won't cut as long as an expensive knife because it's not using expensive steel. It's 9CR13 MOV, which is a decent steel. It's comparable to 440C. But at Rockwell 58, it's not going to cut like S30V or something fancy like that. But it will do well, and for most people, this is plenty. And so I did all 3 of them in a satin ground finish, just to make sure that it's a quick and easy finish, and it works, and it looks quite nice. So, I just wanted to do these, and I think in the future I'll start regrinding more knives. I currently have I have lustful thoughts about what my zero tolerance 0801 could do with a proper grind, because I love the knife, but the grind is just horribly thick. But I think it would do amazing with a good grind and a nice LMAX blade that's in it. So I wanted to show you these, and I also did another one which is not a full flat grind, because these used to be quite a thick saber grind right up to around there, that height, and then a thick bevel as well. So they really cut like crap. But with like this, you can slice tomatoes and you know, do cool stuff that would impress your friends in the kitchen. And I got this one as well, which is these Ganzo 716, G-716, which is basically a Benchmade ruckus shape, but with a different handle and a different pocket clip, and a slightly different grind. But I didn't want to do the full flat grind for this one, so I didn't. And right as I was about to put the thumb plate that goes with it on, the screw fell down on the floor, and now it's lost in the dust of my shop floor. And I've been looking for that thing on my knees for hours, no, for about an hour now, and I haven't found it yet. But I'm still confident I'll find it. But this one as well, you know, this used to be a thick knife, which I hate. I hate thick knives because they cut like crap. They're terrible in use. But now it'll fly through stuff, and now it's a really nice cutting knife. So even if it's not an expensive knife, uh, you know, it'll still be nice. And if you want one of these, let me know, and I'll sell you one. And of course, I'll mark it up a little bit for the effort that I put in, because I need to account for a little bit of my time and wear and tear on belts and electricity and little things like that. But they're not expensive. I mean, $50 a pop, and you can get a Reground properly done knife. I could also do a mirror polished one like the one I did for myself. If you want that, just send me a message or something, and we'll work something out, because polishing 440C hardened is no picnic. So I'll be charging more for that. But believe me, the polished one, will not outcut the satin one. They'll cut about the same. It's just, this is nice and shiny and it looks fancy. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you like them or if you don't, or don't give me the China copy thing. I've read all about it. I don't care. These are just practice for me. These are just because I think it's fun, really, and I'm not trying to make a living off it or anything. So have a great day, and I'll check you out later. Bye.